What's the best way to manage environment variables in Python? Today, we're going to build a small Python app to answer just this question. Where do my API keys, database credentials, and tokens go? I'll use Flask in this demo, but this is the same for Django, FastAPI, or just a plain Python script. Secrets will work the same either way. Let's spin up a project. Now, to keep things simple, this is the whole app. I've got one route, and let's say it's going to call a paid API, so it's going to need an API key to work. It runs. Now, the real question, that API key has to live somewhere. And where it lives is very important. Let's look at the 4 ways to deal with it, each of them better than the last. So level 1 of managing environment variables is something that we've all done and we all regret. You hardcode the key right into the file. It works and it's the fastest thing in the world, but the moment you push to GitHub, that key is public and it stays public even if you delete it later because your Git history is public and it's sitting in that. Many bots scan repos for exactly this. So level 1 is a hard no, this is something that we never want to do. The fix is rather simple. Get the key out of your code. So level 2 is environment variables, and this is the standard that most Python developers reach for. The value lives outside of your code, and your code reads it from the environment when it runs. And you could do that with os.environ.get. And importantly, your code does not care how the value gets there. So the question becomes, how does this value actually get into your environment? That depends on where you're running. In production, your host or deploy platform is usually going to set that for you. But on your own machine during local development, the easiest way is going to be something called a .env file. It's a little file of key value pairs that get loaded into the environment when your app starts. So let's make one. So in my .env file, I put the actual values of my variables. And I can load this .env file by using a library called python.env. So I can pip install python.env. So my whole app now, load.env reads this .env file into the environment, and then the app pulls its 2 secrets from there, API key and database URL. Now, an important rule with our .env files, you must always add your .env file to your .gitignore. Now, this is so that our .env file never gets committed. Many teams will commit a .env.example, and this might be the same keys with the values blanked out so then our teammates know what to set. Now, if I run our app, I can see that it has successfully loaded our API key and our database URL. This paradigm is far better than secrets in code, but it still leads to some problems. It strains the moment you add multiple teammates and you go to production. Your .env file has no access control. So when you share it with one person, it means you share the whole file, and then you can't really take it back from that person. And then we've got it spreading across laptops, it's in Slack and CI until nobody knows where all of the copies of these variables are. And rotating a key means hunting down every copy hand by hand. What you'd rather have is one single source of truth instead of this separate file on every machine. So level 3 keeps your secrets off your machine in one central place, and we're going to keep them in something called a secrets manager. And then we'll inject those secrets into our app at runtime. Now I'll use Infisical, an open source secrets manager that's free to get started. First, I create an account in a secrets management project. Call this one my Python app. And then I'll actually bring my secrets in. Now dragging this .env file is the fastest, so I will Command-Shift period on Mac, and I'll just drag it over. And Infisical will import every key value pair. So I'll choose development as my environment, and I'll upload 2 secrets. So my secrets live in Infisical right now, but my app still reads them from its environment with os.environ.get. So I need something to bridge the two. I need to pull the secrets out of Infisical and inject them into my app's environment when it runs. And that something is called the Infisical CLI. This is a command line tool that's going to log into my account, fetch the secrets, and hand them to my app at startup. Honestly, the first time I saw CLI injection, it felt like magic. I didn't realize this could be done without any files, any secrets on disk, and your app just ends up with the secrets. So to set up injection with the Infisical CLI, we have 3 commands, and we'll grab them from the docs. First, we install it. Okay, so we're installed. Then I log in, and I'm going to run Infisical login. This opens my browser. I'm going to authenticate with the account that I just made. I'll choose my region. Now, the CLI is going to keep a token so it can pull secrets on my behalf. We've got successfully logged in. Welcome to Infisical. You're now logged in. And now I'm going to link this folder to my project in Infisical that I created so that the CLI knows which secrets to pull. So I'll run Infisical init, choose my organization, and the project was my Python app. So Infisical init makes this Infisical JSON file. There are no secrets in this file. It just has a workspace ID and then my default environment, which will be dev. And so it's a pointer to where the secrets live. This is safe to commit to Git, which is the whole difference from my .env file. Now I can run my app through the CLI. So I'll wrap my normal run command in Infisical run. So I'll go Infisical run, Flask run. And we could see injecting 2 secrets into your application process. Now this fetches secrets from my project, it injects them into the environment, and then it starts the app. And notice my application code didn't change at all. It still has OS environ get, API key, and database URL. And I can actually delete this .env file completely and it's still going to run because the values are now coming from Infisical. They're not coming from a file on disk. So I've deleted it and I can run that same run command, Infisical run, wrapping Flask run. Check my browser and the values are indeed still there. So this fixes the problem that teams have from our level 2. We have one source of truth, which is Infisical. We've got access that we can grant and revoke per person. So in Infisical, I have access control, which I can choose who has access to these secrets. I also have rotation that can change in this single place. And I also have audit logs so I can see each rotation being versioned and audited. Sometimes injecting your secrets once at startup isn't enough. Maybe you don't want a static secret baked in right when your app boots, and you'd rather pull in a secret directly from your application code. Or you want dynamic secrets, these short-lived credentials that Infisical generates on demand and then they expire in a short time. Think like a database login that's only valid for an hour. Your code asks for that token in the moment that it needs it. This is what level 4 is for. Where level 3 injected your secrets as environment variables before the app started, level 4 fetches them from inside your code on demand using the Infisical Python SDK. Now from these docs, we'll install the SDK. And here we've made some small changes to the code. Note we have these two references in here, Infisical Client ID and the Infisical Client Secret. What are those? This is how our application is going to authenticate to Infisical. A running server can't pop open a browser the same way I did with the Infisical CLI, so it needs its own identity to authenticate with. And in Infisical, that identity is called a machine identity. So I'll create one in the dashboard, here under Access Control Machine Identities. I'll give it a name, and I'll give it a viewer role so that it can read my secrets. Now when I create the machine identity, it'll take me here. By default, it has this auth method, universal auth, which is what we're going to use. And universal auth hands me two things. First, it hands me a client ID. I need to save this, head back to the code, and I need to export this. So I'll export Infisical Client ID. Next, I need to add a client secret. I'll copy this, and same thing. I need to head back here and export that. Now, the app is going to log in with that client ID and client secret at startup. It's going to ask Infisical for a token that it can use to request the actual secrets that it needs to work. Now, how does the app receive this client ID and client secret? There's still environment variables that I've exported, and we still use OS environ just like we did back in level 2. I could use .env and put them in a .env file as well. Now, this may feel a little circular. To fetch my secrets, I'm holding only one or rather two credentials locally. But I've gone from a scattered pile of secrets to one bootstrap identity, so I have one credential to protect and rotate instead of 10 different ones. So as a rule of thumb, use the CLI whenever you just need your secrets as environment variables. Reach for the SDK when you want to fetch secrets in code or when you want dynamic, short-lived secrets. So that's the ladder for secrets in a Python app. Level 1, we have hardcoding. Never do this. It's going to land in your Git history, and it's just generally a very bad practice. Level 2 is our .env file with python.env. This gets the secrets out of your code. It can work for one person just fine. It does strain across a team, and there's a better way. That better way is level 3. It's the Infisical CLI. So you have one central source of truth outside of the code, injected at runtime with no code change at all. This is the easiest way to manage as an individual or with a team. And then level 4 is our Python SDK, fetch secrets in your code on demand and unlock dynamic, short-lived secrets for your application. The nice part is that everything from level 2 and up reads from the same place, so climbing the ladder barely touches your app. Infisical is open source and free to start. There's a full guide linked for this down below, and I'll link the demo repo as well. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and good luck managing those environment variables in Python.